Hi everyone. Today I'm going to take you all back in time to the 1980s, where big hair, bright colors, and bold eyeshadows were taking the world by storm. First, the clothing. High-waisted, acid-wash jeans, big belts, crazy patterns, the neons, the pastels, big curly hair teased as high as gravity and hairspray will allow. Movies trending back then like the sci-fi adventures Back to the Future or Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Coming-of-age classics like The Breakfast Club, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and the music. A couple songs that immediately come into my head when thinking about the 80s is Duran Duran's Hungry Like the Wolf and a-ha's Take On Me. They're exciting, high-energy songs that are easy to dance to and sing along. Now that I've teleported you back in time, I want you to keep that energy in your head as I go through the purpose of my speech. I'm speaking here to inform you, Intro to Communication students, of a song that means a lot to me. I've talked a lot about the 80s because my song comes from the 80s. In this speech, I want to give you some background information on my song, the connection this song has both to me and my dad, and then I'll conclude with why this song means so much to me. My first point is the song I chose and some background information on it. The song I chose to speak about is Never Let Me Down Again by Depeche Mode. It was released in 1987 on the new wave band's sixth studio album, Music of the Masses. Depeche Mode is an electronic synth-pop band that gained popularity in the 1980s. Originally, there was the band No Romance in China, formed in 1976, with only two keyboardists, Andy Fletcher and Vince Clarke. In 1979, they gained another keyboardist and guitarist, Martin Gore, and they changed their name to French Look. When singer Dave Gann joined in 1980, they changed their name once more to Depeche Mode, and that name has stuck ever since. I got that information from allmusic.com in an article by Neil Young. They're still active today, and the last album that they released was Spirit in 2017. Some songs you may know by Depeche Mode would be Enjoy the Silence, Just Can't Get Enough, and Personal Jesus. I looked those up on Spotify for the most streamed songs by Depeche Mode. My next point, I want to talk about my personal history and my dad's personal history. I like to say that I listen to the same music my dad was listening to when he was my age. The year the song came out, my dad was 20 years old, and he was very much into the new wave music when he was in his teens and early 20s. And he looked like it too. He actually had a mohawk and an earring. Some of his favorite artists then and still today are The Smiths, The Cure, Depeche Mode, Joy Division, and New Order. He tells me all the time about how he only took one cassette tape with him on basic training, and it was the Pretty in Pink soundtrack that he listened to on repeat. For me, I started listening to Depeche Mode my freshman year of high school. The only reason I got into Depeche Mode is because it was a suggested artist for me after I listened to so much Duran Duran on my Pandora account. My dad one day heard me playing Depeche Mode in my room, and he got so excited that he came back with 2 Depeche Mode CDs that were his. I've been listening to these CDs ever since, and I've added a lot more new wave bands into my music library. My last point, I want to talk about the meaning behind this song. The first line of the song goes, I'm taking a ride with my best friend. I looked it up on Lyric Genius just to make sure I got all the words right. I have this memory of a few years ago of my dad and I driving around in his truck. He had his phone hooked up to the truck, so it was playing music off of his Apple. The song Never Let Me Down Again came on, and it's not the kind of song that you sit there quietly to and enjoy. It's the kind of song that gets you hyped up and you sing louder than the people singing. The line played, and I turned to my dad, and I pointed at him and I sang, I'm taking a ride with my best friend. It threw him off for a second because he quit singing. He smiled really big and he held my hand. This is such a great memory I have between me and my dad, and it will always stick with me. And it goes to show how music just creates this unique and deep bond between me and him. It's like when we run out of things to talk about, we turn to music. We'll either talk about music or we'll listen to music and we'll sing along together. Today I've explained to you all the history behind my song, my own personal history, my dad's, and what it means to me. Personally, if I could leave 2020 right now and go back to 1980s, I would. I love the music, the clothing, the culture, the celebrities, the movies. The 1980s, I feel like I would just strive in. That concludes my presentation, and thank you all for listening.